right, let's get more productive. Nice and easy, let's go. Hey there, Enterprisers, what's good? It's Jason Ligo here again, and in this video I want to talk to you about some quick and easy productivity hacks that you can implement right now. That's right, quick and easy productivity hacks that you can implement right now. This is not something that's going to take a while for you to go ahead and get going. You can start doing some of these things immediately and instantly, and my hope is if you go ahead and start doing some of these things, you'll see your productivity soar through the roof in no time flat. So let's dive right in. Number one, set designated time for email. Set designated time for email. Now, if you're like me, you cannot stand to see a full inbox of email. The reality is, for me personally, email is actually the bigger distraction than even social media. When I get up in the morning and all throughout the day, I am constantly checking my email and I'm constantly responding to my email. All right, and so this is one of those things that I definitely had to wrangle in. And odds are it's something that you can benefit from as well. Just set designated times during the day at which you're gonna pay attention to your email. Now again, if you're like me, this is very, very hard to do, especially in the beginning, largely in part because you just want to give the attention to your email that you might think that it deserves. For me, I think a lot of it is my corporate background. You know, I hate seeing emails that are not cleared out. I hate seeing emails that are unanswered, and I worked in such an environment where responding to emails quickly and expeditiously was one of the standards of being able to do your job well, especially when you're dealing with other departments and other parties, underwriters, loan approval specialists, whatever the case is. Being able to respond quickly is always the standard. The reality is, though, I have yet to see a lot of fruitful evidence that really shows where this is really the case. The reality is there's so many times where I get emails that, you know what, I can definitely respond to that email by the end of the business day, and oftentimes because I set designated times, it won't be until the end of the business day. It'll just be within an hour or two, wherein I'm spending the time that is necessary to respond to this email with the deliberation and with the intent in order to keep it relevant. And so I would encourage you to please consider only using email during a certain amount of time. Again, in the morning when you're waking up, don't reach for the email immediately, okay? If you are gonna go ahead and open your email, then my suggestion is to do what I do now, and that is I simply look at the email and I will star it to come back to it later on for when I'm gonna sit down during this designated time. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself in a trap that is continuing to lead you further down the rabbit hole, and before you know it, 20, 30 minutes, an hour goes by and you have not produced anything. So one of the quickest way to see your productivity go up is, again, to stay away from the email until the designated email time. Believe me, this is going to help you out. Number two, learn to say no. Learn to say no, all right? It's not a huge and paramount item, but it's so true and it's so valid in its point. The reality is, as entrepreneurs, as heads of business, as leaders, you're gonna find yourself where you are the good go-to person, right? You're the good person that people can trust, and you're the go-to person, largely in part because of your skill set, your decisiveness, or what have you. What you wanna do is make sure that this confidence is not misplaced or betrayed, so much to the point where it even takes a toll on your personal productivity and your personal skills. So for instance, in my case, being the head of a couple different enterprises, it definitely begs a lot of people saying, hey, Jason, can you look at this? Can you take care of this? Or hey, I'm wondering about this. Even in my mentoring and my coaching and my consulting to a lot of my students, it's always, hey, let me ask you for this, or hey, I need help with this. And a lot of the times up front, I'm telling my clients and my customers, listen, you can absolutely figure that out. If you need my help on something, it should be in the way of strategy. It should be in the way of like overall marketing and high level stuff, okay? I'm not gonna spend 2 hours on the phone with you to be your tech support. Right? Someone might say, hey, I have a problem with my software, can you help me out? Sometimes my answer is simply no. And it wasn't always this case. I used to be the guy to say, okay, let's hop on a call together and let's look at this thing for the next 10 minutes and next 2 hours. And before you know it, I have not done anything to further my business, right? So you got to consider things like that. Now, the other place where something like this is appropriate to consider is when someone is trying to pitch you something new. Again, as entrepreneurs, as serial entrepreneurs especially, you're that person where a lot of opportunities are coming at you because you are the prime candidate, okay? And this never stops, especially in the make money online space or the home business space. It's always going to be the case, all right? Even right now, even though I'm often doing my own thing, still so many times I have people reaching out to me with, hey, Jason, have you considered this opportunity? And how about this thing, and this money-making program, and this money-making scheme, and this affiliate network, and this network marketing company, and this new product, and on it goes, okay? I would strongly encourage you to simply say no, right? Especially if you're working on something else. And this is the biggest admonition that I have to a lot of the people that I'm helping right now to create their own products is listen, right now more than ever, because you're focused, because you have a specific goal in mind, believe me when I tell you that all these new opportunities and new pitches are going to come out of the woodwork. Be careful that you don't fall victim to this. Simply learn to say no. Number 3, and finally, let go of perfectionism. That's right, let go of perfectionism, okay? This doesn't come at any surprise to you, I'm sure, but it's worth mentioning once more. Let go of perfectionism. Now, if you're like me, okay, I keep saying that, but I think it's a good reference point simply because I'm, as you can see, I'm nothing special. I'm just your everyday guy who happens to love my business and run my business and do the things that I'm doing and running the business so that I can give my attention to my other passions. And in a case like this, you want your quality of work to be recognized, right? You want to make sure that you do work that is of high quality, okay? And so when you are focused on a certain task, you want to make sure that that task or that project or that thing is of the highest order, of the highest quality, and it doesn't have an opportunity for your naysayers to denigrate it in any means. And it's just one of those things where you want to be associated with top tier, high level stuff. I get all that. But the reality is, if you're not careful, what you'll allow yourself to do is let that perfectionism turn into procrastination, and ultimately you will have nothing that is out there. And so my philosophy now, whereas before it was always practice makes perfect and don't get it done unless it's something that you can sign off on and make sure that you're proud of it and make sure that it's perfect. Those used to be my mantras. Now they're no longer my mantra. Now what I like to simply say is done is the new perfect. Right? Done is the new perfect, okay? It's better to have something done than have something that is flawless, because the reality is you probably will not have that. The good thing about it too is that when you finally do get something done and out there, no one says that it has to say like that, okay? That's the reason why people upgrade and update things, okay? That's why there's a version 2.0 that exists, or a version 4.0. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're working on something, okay, I don't care if it's your website, your sales funnel or something, get it done and get it out there. All right, and then use that to test it and bring forth market data that suggests to you the kind of tweaks that you need to make, if any. It could be, you could be very, very surprised with what gets out there. Maybe for the first time you get your VSL out there and you get a sales funnel or a campaign going, and next thing you know, you're absolutely profitable and lucrative on the first try. Now that's the exception and not the rule, but it definitely is possible. Now contrast that with, let me just go ahead and get something perfect before I get it out there. You may not ever hit the launch pad. You know what I'm saying? Versus when you do have a product that is out there and doing well, now you continue to build off of it and you can continue to work off of it and continue to leapfrog, continue to escalate, and before you know it, you're at a version 2, a version 3, a version 4. You can see the progression. It makes you proud, but it also makes you profitable closely and much more quickly than if you hesitated because of perfectionism. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, there you have it, my friends. Listen, these are 3 quick and dirty ways to up your productivity. Again, super quick that you can implement, and that's exactly what I want for you. Don't waste any time. Start working on some of these. I want you to put in the comment section below which is the one that you're going to do immediately to boost your productivity, because I know that it will. Now make sure you give me a like, a comment, a share, but most importantly, subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any more hot new content that I got coming down the pipe just for you. Also, if you hadn't had a chance yet, make sure you click on the link in the description below. It is the Digital Freedom Shortcut. It's my free ebook, my gift to you. Shows you exactly what I did to leave the corporate lifestyle to doing what I'm doing now, and I'm happy to share it with you. All right, that's it, my friends. I'll talk to you soon. I'm out of here. Take care.